Perfect. Right, grab yourself something to sit on for our meditation if you want. You know, cushion. Doesn't have to be a special yoga block, but just anything, little cushion, something just give you a little bit of height under your seat. And then just get yourself, have some time just to get yourself settled, you know, into your seat, into your body. You know, we spend all of our waking moments generally up in our mind. So yoga is the perfect time for us to just sink into our body mind. So we feel ourselves on the ground, feel ourselves planted. And I was reminded the other day, and I've been kind of reminding all of my classes and groups, of the just really simple mantra that we did to right at the beginning of lockdown, when everything was kind of up in the air and we were, you know, all over the place. That grounding mantra where you just bring your hands onto your chest, onto your heart. And you repeat to yourself just 3 words, and as many times as you need. Here I am. Here I am. So it brings you back. Here I am. So either keeping the hand on your heart or release the hand down onto your lap. And just begin to follow your breath. Let the belly be soft, let the face and the jaw and the mouth be relaxed. Breathing in and out through the nose. Slowly start to develop that ocean breath. That gentle sound of the ocean wave in the back of the throat as you just restrict the flow, so it lengthens it, slows it, makes it a more deliberate, conscious breath. But just give it a little bit of time. So as you breathe, and as you stay rooted and grounded, I'm going to just talk about a little nugget of philosophy that we are going to think about, contemplate perhaps through our session today. And you absorb whatever you're able to absorb, whatever is right and ready for you to absorb. So we've been looking at the niyamas, which is one of the limbs of Patanjali's 8 limbs of yoga. And we now come to the third of those, which is tapas, spelt the same as those delicious little Spanish plates of food, but doesn't mean the same. So tapas it's got quite a few kind of meanings, but if you put it in the middle, you'd have this map around it, and it all kind of relates to the same thing. Tapas is your drive, your will, your spark of life, your enthusiasm, the fire in your belly, you know, that self-discipline, focused energy, right action. So when we're doing a practice that's kind of relating to this, you know, we want to build a little bit of internal heat, not just charging through loads of asana, but kind of, you know, a heat that doesn't burn us out. So we've got the you know, we need heat in the body for many reasons, but you know, the digestive heat, that's also something that you consider. Yeah, the heat from the kind of actual postural work, but also that energy that we create that helps us then to sort of purify, kind of burn away doubt and fear. So it's the mental kind of clearing and enthusiasm. I'm going to read from this book again, True Yoga by Jenny Lee. And it's really down to earth and kind of fresh, I would say, but in a good way. I don't know. Okay, so about the fire. A contained fire is helpful for heating or cooking, but a wildfire is destructive. Tapas is a cleansing fire within us, helps us to achieve clearer, higher consciousness, but too much effort-based in the ego's need for achievement or validation destroys it. So willpower is a huge part of this, but not in that kind of, I must have more willpower. You know, just see it as if it comes and it kind of, from that place of strength that you have. So in order to create tapas, you need willpower, not desire or intention, but the unbreakable will that generates force and action. Desires or intentions without will force are nothing but impotent wishes. Will, on the other hand, creates energy, requires that we employ it in constructive, focused ways. It is the link between positive thought and actual manifestation. Will is the essential component for success in any endeavor. And like any muscle, the more we use it, the larger it grows. It is stimulated by enthusiasm, a cheerful attitude, determination, and love. Willpower is fueled by attunement to our inner wisdom and sustained by it as we apply concentration and continuity to our chosen course. Will is an instrument of change, and the greater our will force, the greater the change we can affect, both internally and externally. By consciously using willpower to burn through personal obstacles, like that clearing of the fear and the doubt, we tap into the unlimited source of life energy. The sutra describes how we are freed from physical and mental limitations. So quite a lot of big words there. But what I want you to do now, because we have, if we kind of marry this in with the energy centers in the body, we come to the third energy center. So if you just place your palm on your Manipura chakra, which is just above your belly button, below your sternum, solar plexus. And we can use visualization here. And it works, I think, beautifully. Because as you place your hand, you kind of feel that heat from the hand. And this is the seat of that willpower, that force, that drive, that spark. So just take a few moments as you continue to breathe, using that Ujjayi breath. which does act kind of like, you know, the bellows in a fire. So as you breathe, you're just gently letting these embers that you visualize at this seat of your own inner fire start to warm. I love the thought of having kind of a thermal imaging camera, and this is like where the hottest bit is, and you just begin, as you visualize, to kind of radiate. And whether you're visualizing light or color or flame or just warmth, begin to become aware of it, starting right here, your solar plexus. So we come just to the end of the meditation. And as we move into the physical practice, and we're going to get this whole area moving, you know, we're not going to be doing endless core exercises, I promise. But what is important, I think, before we move on, is just to be able to remind yourself, okay, so when we're doing our yoga practice, yeah, we need our drive and our kind of enthusiasm and our right action. But really, this is what we need for life. So let it be something that you can take with you off the mat. And when you need it most in life, it's there and you can visualize it. You can kind of sort of invoke it by just bringing your awareness. And, you know, this is what's so great about yoga practice. We can take it off the mat and it kind of, you know, benefits our life. So we're going to start moving, and we're going to do cat-cow seated. So if you've had your legs crossed, it's probably quite nice just to cross them the other way, or it doesn't matter, you can stay seated in whatever is comfortable for you. Hands on the front of the knees and lift the spine up really tall as you breathe in. And then as you breathe out, we're going to gently round the spine. So pushing the backbone back, drawing the belly button towards the spine. And then as you breathe in again, we're opening the front body. Let the shoulders draw down and the chest move forwards. Okay, it's not going to start, you know, being a massive movement, but we just gently let the spine begin to kind of get that movement going. So if I swizzle round, you could probably see, you know, that rounding. It's not a huge movement. Inhaling, encouraging that opening of this whole space through the front body. Maybe the head starts to come back a little bit. And then, so find your rhythm. Exhale as you round, and inhale as you encourage the opening to the front of the body. It's always good to use a posture or a little sequence, like, for instance, cat-cow, in a different way. So you've got the same movement, but it'll feel different from when we normally do it on all fours. So I was saying to a group last night that this is a much, if you're, you know, if you've got a backache or whatever, and or you feel stiff and you need to move a little bit, and you think, oh, I wish I could get on the hands and knees and do some cat-cow, but you know, you're a polite company or what have you, or it's just not appropriate. You know, you can do this. You can do your secret yoga in public. It's not as weird as getting on your hands and knees and doing cat-cow. But the benefit is the same. And then let this be the last as we kind of leave it with that kind of lift and openness to the chest. But not the last completely, because what we're going to do is now move in a slightly different way. And again, you know, if you need to change the cross of your legs back, then just do so as and when. Hands stay on the knees, but now it's not just forwards and backwards or rounding and kind of opening. We're going to bring in a sort of lateral movement. So we're circling the spine round, circling the belly, the chest, the belly button round. And again, you know, just take your time. And as you go, you might find that actually there's a little bit of tension in the shoulders as well. So you feel free to move those as you need to, and maybe the head. But really, we're just exploring this slow circling round. Keep breathing fully. Let the face be relaxed. And then we're going to change the rotation, change the direction. So go back the opposite way. Keep going, do a couple more. And then bring it and slow it down. So if you've got a cushion or a block, just shuffle it out of the way, and we're going to straighten the legs out, okay, and have the right foot, right knee bent foot on the floor. So we're going to come to just a simple twist, okay, left leg straight, right foot flat to the floor, lift up through the spine, let the left hand wrap around that right leg, and the right hand kind of it's that support, that scaffolding to that arm. So when we inhale and lift, we get a bit more height, and then we exhale, rotate. Keep just rotating every exhale, getting a little bit deeper. And then we release, we simply go straight to the other side, so change legs. Let's have this straight leg kind of active with the foot flexed, and then wrap the right arm round. I'm going to get that lift as we prop up the spine with that back arm. Inhale, exhale, rotate. And then release. Bring the hands underneath the legs and just slowly roll yourself down and squeeze your knees in. Gently rock. And it's almost ubiquitous, isn't it? We get on our back, we bring the knees up, and then we have to just gently let that rocking continue as we let the knees release a little bit further away. So that sensation of the rocking shifts down the back and then back up. You know, it's always really nice just to explore and roll around a little bit. Back maintenance. Okay, extend the legs, push the heels away. So there's a real engagement in that as you lengthen through the back of the legs, pushing the heels away, interlace the hands, turn the palms out. Take a really big stretch and a big inhale. And then as you breathe out, bring the right knee up, squeeze the right knee in. Inhale, lengthen. Continue to go side to side. Get to the end of the breath. Let the breath run its full course. One more each side. And then gather up both legs once more. Okay, reach the arms out and place the palms flat to the floor. Now, depending on how hard you want your practice to be, how challenging you want it to be. So either the heels just stay sort of close to your buttocks, or you bring your legs out so they're kind of at a 90-degree angle. I mean, you can go all out nutter and straighten the legs, but I would just certainly begin with the 90 degrees. And then keep the shoulders anchored down, and you, as you bring your legs over to the right, not all the way to the floor, and then bring them back up and go to the other side. And again, don't bring them all the way down. And go side to side. Keep the shoulders really anchoring down. So you've got your core supporting the journey of the legs. Side to side. Doesn't have to be super slow. And of course, you can always change where your feet are, remembering that if you want softer, heels in, harder, you can move the heels away. Ooh, straight legs is pretty hard. Straight-ish legs. Maybe do a couple of those. Okay, back to center. Squeeze the knees in. If you slowly migrated down, then work your way back up to center of your mat. And then we take the legs up and just sort of have a good rub of the back of the legs, just, you know, warming them. And at the same time, this is the only multitasking we're going to do, is circle the feet round. Can't even do that. So circle the feet round, wiggle the toes, and just gently warm the backs of the legs. Okay, arms down by your sides. So, you know, certainly you can have a little softness in the knee. We want to feel as we go into our slow cycling of the legs that the spine is really anchoring down, and therefore the core is engaged. So we take the right leg and slowly lower it, okay, towards the floor. Almost at the floor, we bend the knee and bring it back up as the other leg goes down. Relax your jaw, relax your shoulders, but be really engaged through your center. So the slower the better. Keep going. Keep breathing. You know, you're stronger than your mind gives you credit for. So just remember that. Your will and your drive and your enthusiasm keeps you going. That lighting, these embers start to warm even more. Finish on the side you didn't begin with, which should be left leg. Good, squeeze the knees in. Just got to alter my light here, it's flickering. Slightly better, okay. Right, okay, lost my train of thought. Oh yeah, arms down by your sides, legs back at 90 degrees, and just straighten right leg, pushing the heel away. Just hold it for a moment or two, and then change. Hold it for a moment or two. Maybe take a breath. Change again. And again. Good. Hopefully everything's starting to feel a bit warmer. So now take the knees a bit wider. Okay, so the feet are wide, the knees are wide, and the arms are then down by your sides. So now we've got a slightly different, is it more of a turnout and an opening in the legs? But now we're going to straighten in from this position. So we've got the feet flexed, and we take the right leg out and bring it back, and then the left leg. Okay, so the legs aren't together like we were just doing it. They're wide. Just keep going side to side. We'll do a few more of these. One more each side. Brilliant. Bring your knees together and come to happy baby. Hands at the back of the legs, knees a bit wider, or holding, you can either hold your big toe around the outside of the foot, but make sure that you feel that your spine is, you know, the lower back, the sacrum is grounded, so it's not sort of lifting all the way up. You want to feel it kind of, and if it is lifting all the way up, you go back to this position. Okay, just have a rock in happy baby. Relax your belly. We're going to start to rock up and back, just using the momentum and the weight of the body. So hands, I think it's probably easier with the hands at the back of the knees, but feel free to keep hold of the big toes if you're comfortable like that. So really just rolling up and down the spine. Several times. And then last time, and we'll come up and just a little balance on our sitting bones. Lift the chest, squeeze the legs in, chin drops. Just so we get that feeling that the length all the way up the back of the spine. Okay, slide the hands underneath and you're lifting the shins. So a softer modification would be just keeping hold of the legs. There's still work going on, don't think that there isn't, but if you want to take a more challenging path, we then let go of the legs and have the arms out. Keep lifting the chest. Boat pose is a posture that you probably need to smile in, much like chair pose. So let yourself breathe, smile. Oh, it's so much fun. And then have a break when you need it. We'll repeat it, okay? So coming up. Voluntary shaking may be occurring. And then squeeze. You've probably run out of mat space, like I have, so you might need to spin yourself around. Take the knees really as wide as the mat at least, and sit back on your heels if your knees are comfortable to do that. We're going to slowly sink towards a wide-kneed child's pose. But of course, if your child's pose, if you need to have your hips lifted a bit, of course that's absolutely fine. You just do what's right for your body. Don't force it into submission. Doesn't like it generally. But really what this is about, this posture, is about, reconnecting with the earth, finding that length as you just gently creep your fingers forwards, but keeping weight in your seat. But one of the focuses that I really love, I'm just lifting myself up so you can hear me, is being in this position with the arms reached forward in a wide-kneed child, finding length, but then turning your attention to the breath and really encouraging it into the back of the lungs, the back of the body. Breathing naturally into the sides of the ribs, breathing as far down into the lungs as you can. So you kind of get into all the dusty corners and wake it up. You don't want any dead space in the lungs. Most of the time we kind of breathe just using the upper lobes. But yoga is a wonderful opportunity to really expand. Encourage that oxygenation, encourage the blood flow and everything. It's just also on a structural level you're getting a lovely stretch for the ribs and for the little muscles in between the ribs. Empty the breath completely. So we come up and we're going to do lion breath. So that last breath focus practice is all about kind of the inhale and kind of drawing it in and down and deep. And the lion breath is all about the exhale and just expelling every possible morsel of breath that you can. And take that same position, but sit up a little bit, hands flat to the floor. And this always causes hilarity in class. So you'll have to just have a little giggle to yourself in your own homes. Okay, so the breath comes in, you really draw it deeply in, and then I'll just demonstrate it. Tongue out, mouth wide, exhale full. Join in if you haven't already, please. Release, let go of the entire exhale. Obviously have a break before if you're getting lightheaded, just return to normal breath for a few rounds. Notice kind of maybe how it makes you feel, that kind of real purification, that releasing, that shiny new lungs. We'll do a couple, 2 or 3 more on your own time. And then just release. The breathing practice is really quite strong and profound. So, you need to listen to what you need for your lungs and, again, not overpower it. Quite strong practices. Let's turn back around if you didn't have the mat in front of you, and come to Anahata.
So a lot of you know Anahata Asana, which is where the hips are directly above the knees and the arms reach forward, strong through the hands in contact with the floor. Forehead comes down and strong through the arms. And it's not about, yes, it's about kind of encouraging that length and the chest to come down a little bit, but it's not collapsing the chest down. Really, it's more about lengthening through the arms, through the spine, and creating that strong line of energy rather than kind of collapsing the chest down. So you're not going for the hammock look. You're going through that, for that kind of length, that extension, right from that middle finger to the sitting bones. They're drawing in opposite directions, really finding that length. So come halfway up. We're going to do a twist in this posture where we slide the right arm underneath, palm up. Okay, come gently down onto the outside edge of that right arm. Reach the left forwards. I think it's more helpful here if you're on the fingertips. I think you're able to kind of be a bit more alert. And then we're taking that, so we've got left arm reaching forward. We're taking the left leg and slowly extending it back. Okay, so again, we've got that long line of from the whole, down the whole of that left side of the body. This is, it's challenging. It's challenging for the balance. It's partly very challenging for the brain as well. Oops. So it might result in rolling over, falling, but be gentle with yourself. Don't worry about it. Smile, get the back up on it, as it were, and then slowly bring that leg down. And of course, we go to the other side. So it's the left hand that slides underneath, coming down on that arm. The right arm reaches forwards, and it's the right leg, so same side. So we get this lovely extension. And it always feels that one side is wobblier than the other. I don't know why. Probably because we're human and we're not entirely balanced to our left and right side. And that's okay. Okay, woo! Okay, try not to fall out of it if you can. Ease your way back. And then we're probably ready for our first downward facing dog. So hands, actually before we do dog, let's come to cat. And we did cat-cow at the beginning, but seated. So let's now move into cat-cow in all fours. Just again, it's really good. So yeah, we're moving the spine, rounding it and dipping it, but concentrate on the muscles that support this movement. So you're not letting the spine dip as much as it will go. Really, it's about opening the front of the body and then about contracting your abdomen up and rounding it. And we're going to move seamlessly, just before we go into dog, into that complete circling of the spine. So bringing in the lateral movement, okay, the sideways, as well as the kind of up and down. We'll do it in a circle. So if we start much like we did, circle the spine completely around. Close your eyes. Notice how it feels. I really like this kind of addition in cat-cow, bringing in sideways. Kind of gets a little bit more into the hips as well, maybe freeing up the shoulders a little too. And then we'll change direction, go the other way. So strength and flexibility.
mobility. Strong but movable. Okay, then when you're ready, let us use downward facing dog purely as that template for exploring. Rooted with our experience of right now in the body. Gently working the feet, warming the legs, feeling that stretch through the side of the body. Letting the face and the lips be relaxed. Sort of, yeah, there's weight going through the hands, but you want to feel that rebound from that pressure of the hands is coming up through the arms, and allowing the spine to lengthen all the way back to. And then from here, we're going to move towards soft plank, back by popular demand. Draw the shoulder blades down. Okay, if you want to have a gentler practice today, of course, all fours, maybe a resting child. But it really is good to challenge the body, particularly, weight bearing for our bones. So take the feet, walk the feet as wide as you can if you're in plank, and then just continue to sort of pad the feet, but also move the hips side to side. Encourage the shoulders to draw down. So we've got this kind of fire and strength and will, but there's a kind of softness. Soften the jaw, soften the mind. Don't be too rigid. And then bring the knees down. Sit back, let the hands and wrists have recovery time, palms up. So into our next pranayama, breath practice, of Kapalabhati, which is a kriya, it's a sort of cleansing, purifying breath. And again, it focuses on the exhale. And it's that forced exhale as you draw the abdomen in and up, and that completely passive inhale. Forced exhale, passive inhale. We're just going to get a little bit closer so you can kind of see a little bit more perhaps. Okay, so you can have your hands on your belly. You don't have to though, you can just have your hands kind of sort of free of the belly. And exhale fully, inhale fully, and then you just start pumping the exhale as you draw the abdomen in and up. So I'll demonstrate, and join in if you're ready to join in. Snotty, sorry about that. So keep going. Okay, I'm going to take the, so you can hopefully see the belly drawing in and up. Try and keep shoulders relaxed. So it's forced exhale, passive inhale, not forced inhale, because then you'd be hyperventilating and get yourself feeling giddy. So have a break also when you need a break. This should feel like, 50 sit-ups each round, because you're getting the abdomen wall to engage and force the breath out by pushing the abdomen in and up. So I'll do another round with you. then it's not the easiest breath to do, and it just takes practice. And you know, when I started, my shoulders were all up here and I was hyperventilating, and you know, so it just takes a bit of practice, like everything. But it's good. It really strengthens your core as well, which obviously is also always a benefit. But it's good. Purifying. It's called the breath of Kapalabhati, but one of the translations is breath of fire. So it kind of gets a little bit more fire in the belly. So let's come up onto high kneeling. Okay, fold the mat over so you've got more padding for the knees. Reach the arms out. So we should feel, you know, pretty warm in our centre as the arms reach out. Turn the right palm up, look towards it. And then as that turns over simultaneously, you turn the left up. So then this happens at the same time. Turning the head, looking towards the palms, the arms spiral. Then we bring in a little bit more work for the sides body now by really reaching the upturned palm away as we go side to side. Come back, and as the arms come down, just let them circle. Okay, make fists with your hands and feel that you're lengthening the tailbone down. So then that the fists come, you know, either side of your sacrum. And we're just going to stretch and inhale, stretch up through the front of the body. Elbows draw together, gently pushing the fists in. Squeeze the elbows together. Just keep looking forward for this first one. So you should feel perhaps this opening and this challenge also to the front of the body, and then come up. If at any point you need to come into all fours, or in fact child's pose, then just do that. If you need to counter pose more than I'm offering, then you just do it, and then we'll go back again. Fists into that. Either side of the sacrum. Inhale, lift. As you gently push the hips forward, squeeze the elbows together. Maybe it's ready to take the head back. It's pretty challenging. Keep breathing. Lift the head. Come up. And then release the hands to the floor, but take your time, slowly just doing that counter stretch. Doesn't have to be the biggest oppositional stretch ever. Just walk your way back up. Okay, hand onto the left hip, and we sweep the right arm to the left and back, and then bring it back the way it came, go straight to the other side. We'll do several of these. And if you want to continue doing these, that's a gentle, slightly softer than going into full camel, where we bring the hands to the back of the heel perhaps, and come all the way around. Hand onto the other heel. Keep lifting through the chest. Push the hips forwards. Lift the heart, so you kind of feel that you're offering up your warmth, spreading it out, firing it up, taking your head back.
lift the back of the heart. Then the head comes up first. Oh, that's heavy. And then slowly ease your way. Before any counter movement, you just come into back straight. And then take the time. Small movements. Stay really present. Let's slowly come back up. And if you think this is going to be beneficial for you, then we'll do another and we'll go into it through the other side. So, but also the most important thing is you're listening to your own body and creating a practice that is beneficial and healing for you. Okay, the right hand comes to the right heel if you're going to go into the camel. You could, of course, do the fists into the lower back as an alternative, or just hang out in child's pose and wait for us to rejoin. Lift through the heart. So it's not about the deepest back bend. And if it means that you need to just come out a little bit before I offer that up, then you do so. And you begin to rise up with the head first, and then slowly ease the way out. Ooh. Okay, so if you had a little extra fold, iron it out, and then we're going to counter stretch that in our downward dogs. But just take your time. Again, dog's such a good pose, but so often it is done. You know, you see it on the dreaded Instagram where, you know, they're often young. I'm not being youngest though. You know, you see young yogis desperate to get their chest towards their thighs and the deepest possible, you know, and desperate to get their heels grounding into the floor. But really the best way to practice is staying really rooted in the body, feeling the posture. It doesn't necessarily look the same as everybody's. Knees bent, lovely adjustment, length through the spine. Strong through the core, so you're not, you know, overpowering the shoulders by, you know, that movement where the ribs come to the thighs. Space for the head. Okay, I'll stop going on about it now. Right, so let's move into our standing sequence. Right leg lifts up. Circle the foot. And then bend that right knee. So if you can lift your right hip if it feels comfortable to do so, do that, but don't over arch your lower back. So there's always that slight balance between kind of lifting the hip, but then also there's that, you know, gently drawing your tailbone or towards your pubic bone. Step forward for the second warrior. Come up. Woo. Second warrior. Let's take 3 breaths here. Right knee bending into that right angle. Strong, strong feet, strong legs. This is a great pose for that will and determination, that personal power. And then we take 3 breaths in reverse warrior. So front knee stays bent, right knee stays bent, reach up and back. And then slowly, elbow to knee. turning the chest open. So you're not turning it towards the floor, you're turning it to the side, and then reach. So feel that left heel and that line of energy all the way up to the left middle finger. Hands down. Straight to the other side. Left foot, leg rises. Always nice just to circle the ankle round and then bend the knee. And it's not how far over you can get that leg, because we want to stay with that, maybe that little engagement, tailbone towards pubis. Relax your face. Slowly move into the second warrior on this side. And we stay for 3 breaths. Feel that real strength in your foundation from your legs. That kind of strength from your center. That's your, that's the real nucleus from where you radiate. And then reverse warrior. Side flank stretch, elbow to knee, forearm to knee, and feel that length arrive all the way down that right side. Okay, hands down, slide back. We're going to do that sequence one more, 1 breath, 1 movement. Right side, leg up on inhale. Warrior 2. Reverse. Side stretch. Hands down. Left side. Leg up and back. Virabhadrasana 2. Reverse. Palm down, reach over, side stretch, and down. Knees down. Sit back into child, forehead rests, arms reach back to your toes. And slowly roll to kneeling. And a short sequence just to be the last posture work before Shavasana. Inhale, arms rise. Exhale, slowly fold back to child. Let the eyes be closed. As you inhale and rise, take the arms wide. Exhale to child. Last one. Exhale. And then move to your lying down Shavasana position. It is nice to have something to place over your eyes if you've got something, scarf, a sock, an eye pillow. And then when you're ready, lengthen out the legs. Let the arms be a little away from the body, palms up. A time to rest, a time to release. So soften the face. Become aware of the parts of the body on the floor, the bits that make contact. So from the back of the head, all the way down to the feet. And perhaps there is a warmth, a residue of heat that kind of radiates through your body. And it radiates beyond your skin. So visualize this warmth moving beyond, the energy moving beyond your skin. So that, perhaps we start to visualize a bigger us, moving consciously into our energy body. And if that's kind of challenging to grasp, not that it's probably happened too much lately, but if someone really invades your personal space, you can kind of feel them there. Even if you can't see them. So, and they're coming into your energy body. So, but what we're doing now is we are offering our energy body up and allowing it to kind of expand into the world, sharing ourselves. Letting our breath gently stoke that warmth in our center. I love the idea of that, thermal imaging camera, that we would just be this radiating ball of warmth and heat. And it does move beyond the skin, we know that. We're not contained within our skin. Start to bring the focus back into the center of us again. So we draw ourselves back into the body, into the center of the body. And if it helps to then bring the hands onto your solar plexus, then do that. So that inner fire, or inner warmth, or light or glow, it's not going to burn out. It's not a wildfire. It's contained. there, you know, as always. Call on it. And gradually we'll awaken the body through movements, through stretching. Come to sit when you need to sit. You're ready to. Thank you so much for joining me. Namaste. Shanti, Shanti, Shanti. Key.